This is a review of the order trading system activity for December the 6th, 2021. We've had 11 trades on that day. All 11 trades were buys. First trade was AUPH. And that is Arena Pharmaceuticals Incorporated. They're 26 a.m. 1945. Close date 1915 up 2.57% and up 0.63% early morning here. We'll look at the indicators for that. OBB bouncing back and forth, so it's up but not consistently. MACD came up, stabilized, came up, so it's normal for MACD. Yeah, I came up, stayed up pretty much all morning till early mid-afternoon, and bounced back and forth a little bit late afternoon, up again today. And Boiler Band basically showing that to pretty much steady incline. That stock definitely was positive. Next trade is CNK. That's Cinemark Holdings Incorporated, tripped at 11:34 a.m. at a price of 16.57. It closed the day at 16.61, up 7.72%. It was up 3.25% early morning here, so that's another positive. Check the indicators. Volume came up, stayed up until early mid-afternoon, then came down. MACD same thing, came up right at that time, dropped in the afternoon. The eye came up and also dropped in the afternoon. One that same thing came up and dropped in the afternoon. So the stock started as positive. It closed the day above its closed the day above its previous close by a good amount. So even though it was moving negative at the end of the day, it still was positive overall. Next trade is BILI. That's Bilibili Incorporated, tripped at 12:55 p.m. at price 55.77. Close the day at 57, up 3.75%. It's up 4.98% for the morning here. So that stock is also doing very good. So that's 3 stocks. Indicators for that, you can see it's going okay, jumping back forward. You see the end of the day though, it jumped up, MACD same thing, bouncing back forward, then it jumped up. DI again jumped up a little bit here, bouncing. Pretty much for the most part of the day, it was moving sideways, and at the end of the day, it moved upwards. Just have to catch it, I guess, had a little bit of a peak in the mid or late morning. One of it's going to be that stock moved positive, or was moving positive. Next trade is BB. That's BlackBerry Limited, tripped at 1:04:08 p.m. at price of $8.98. Closed the day at 9:03, up 1.01%. It's up 1.33% early morning here, so that's another positive. And OBB, afternoon period time, which is on this trip. OBB was up, MACD was up, another drop in the afternoon, so it come down in the afternoon, late afternoon. DI is up, and you can see this back and forth in the afternoon, late afternoon, indicating somewhat a sideways movement. And one of them saying that came up and moved sideways. Stock overall was moving sideways, but at the end of the day, moving in a neutral fashion. Next trade is Gebo. That's Gebo Incorporated, tripped at 1:10:01 p.m. at a price of $5.18. Close date 5:15, up 7.52%, is up 2.14% here early morning, and it did not close above strike price. So that's roughly where it came up, but you can see here, like a good portion of the afternoon, practically the whole afternoon, the stock was up above its tripping price, so that's definitely its positive. Just happened to be that it just closed down a bit. Check indicators. OBB bouncing back and forth. So it came up in the afternoon when it tripped, and in the afternoon, late afternoon. Back the same thing. Jumped up here. Averages were moving up when it tripped. And it came down a bit of a jump there late afternoon. DI, same thing, came up, and you can see here in the late afternoon was bouncing back and forth, and Bollinger Band showing somewhat the same thing, and a little bit of a drop at the end of the day. So the stock somewhat ended its day by moving negative, but still maintained a positive result from previous close. Next trade is APTS, which is Digital Turbine Incorporated, tripped at 1:10:04 p.m. at a price of 48.64. Closed the day at 49.80, up 1.94%, is up 4.02% early morning here. It's kind of looked like maybe today's going to be a good day because early morning activity is very positive across the board, and not just a little positive. Stocks we've been looking at, they've been up quite a bit, most of them above the previous day activity. OBV looks good, moving up in the afternoon. MACD looks good, maintaining a good positive direction. DI up, a little bit negative here, but up for the most part, eventually moving positive. So that stock is moving positive. Next trade is NAT. That's Nordic American Tankers Limited, tripped at 1:40:23 p.m. at a price of 188. Closed the day at 184. Up 2.22%. This happens to be the first stock that's down from previous close, down 0.54% to early morning activity. So that's interesting. Okay. It did maintain it. So we caught it at a ceiling, and it maintained it and moved above it. So OBV came up and then down, MACD came up and then down, a little bit at the end of the day, moving back to DI positive. Bollinger Band came up and then moved down for the afternoon, but you see end of the day is moving positive again, or late afternoon moving positive. So the indicators are somewhat of a positive movement late afternoon. Let's call it a possible just because of the fact the indicators are showing positive, even though you can see early morning activity here is not indicating it's moving positive, but it's a penny stock or near penny stock, so it's not strange that those stocks move negative in general. Next trade is GT. That's the Goodyear Tire Rubber Company, tripped at 2:28 p.m. at a price of $21.81. Closed the day at 21.49, up 2.53%, and it's up 0.05% within the morning here. Excuse me. Let's see, Croa, same thing. Basically, it was a ceiling it hit. Like it maintained it, maintained it, but end of the day it dropped a little bit. KOBV, end of the day moving down, MACD down, DI down, Bollinger Band down. Ugh, okay. Yeah. Pre-market showing moving positive, but the indicators are not. The indicators are not indicating that, and I'm not basing my reaction on how they're doing now. I'm not like, to me, that's technically early morning. It's future activity based on the indicators and the information that was gathered, and the stock was showing negative at the end of the day, which doesn't indicate that it's moving positive anymore. So that stock is a negative result. Next trade is CRON. That's Croa Group Incorporated, tripped at 2:30 p.m. at a price of 438. Closed day 432, up 3.85%, down 0.46% early morning here. And we hit another one. It's another ceiling. It hit another ceiling activity, so we hit another ceiling on activity. It basically reached a peak and didn't maintain it and go above it. So we have to see if there's any opportunity here. OBV's not too bad consistently. MACD is not too bad consistently. In the day moving up. DI is not. It's showing negative in DI, but pretty much positive for that on a regular basis. Bollinger Band showing pretty much a positive result. It's a little bit of drop mid afternoon, but again, it's moving positive. I'm going to say this is positive. It's not strong possible, but I'm going to still say it's a possible because the indicators are somewhat showing more of a positive direction. The next trade is CGC. That's Canopy Growth Corporation, tripped at 2:56 p.m. with price of 10.30. Close the day at 10.15, up 1.60%, is up 3.5%, which is good. There's another stock that looks like it hit a ceiling. Yeah, hit a ceiling here and then came down a little bit, so have to see if this is going to be a possible. OPV looks good. FT somewhat okay. It's up, moving up. DI's up. Bollinger Band sideways. Kind of hard. It's technically somewhat positive just before closing, and then closing it looks like it was dropping a bit. Bollinger Band just showing sideways movement at the end of the day, so Bollinger Band's not really showing that it's negative. Positive. DI a little bit negative. MACD dropped a little bit. Overall, though, the indicators in general moving positive. I'm going to say it's a possible. It's not a strong possible, but I'm going to consider it a possible still. Next trade is Crsp. That's Crsp Therapeutics AG, tripped at 3:10:43 p.m. The price is $70. Close the day at 71.12, up 1.47%, is up 1.94%. So you're early morning, so it's another positive. I'll check the indicators. Yep, volume up, MACD's up, DI's up, Bollinger Band's up. That stock is moving positive. So that's 7 out of 11 stocks, 64%, and 10 out of 11 stock with a possibility, so 90%. So 64 and 90% are the percentages for this particular day. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.